Feels pretty weird because it feels like it wasn't too long ago that I just got here and was living over in those dorms over there. But you know, it feels good. Like I'm glad that I'm a guy that people can look up to. You know, if they're having trouble on the field or off the field. I think I've kind of seen it all, I guess, as far as what baseball players deal with, and I think I'm a good person to be looked up to. Well, I mean, obviously being a starter, you've got almost a week in between starts, which can be good for some people, but also it can give people too much time on their hands to start thinking about stuff, about different scenarios. And then, of course, in the bullpen, you got to be ready on a moment's notice. If stuff starts happening, we got to start making moves later in games and stuff like that. It gets pretty hectic down there, but and like I said, some people can feed off that. It makes them just kind of like less thinking, more just getting ready, getting locked in. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely different, and I think though different personalities bode well for in different scenarios. And I guess I've had pretty good success doing both, I guess, because I'm a pretty mellow guy. I don't really get too emotionally charged up before I pitch, so I think that helps. That's a tough one. I mean, it's because it's really one of the things with baseball is like you make good memories, but especially during a season, you got to learn to kind of forget about them. What happened last weekend doesn't really matter this next weekend. So I think every weekend, the weekends are definitely probably the best part of the year, playing in conference. But you kind of have to take each new weekend as a new conquest, I guess, and you got to like go from there. Well, I think this is definitely the most talent we've had on campus in 4 years, for sure. I think we've got depth that we haven't been used to in our lineups, and also within our rotation and stuff. And obviously, it's going to be a really interesting fall because there's going to be competition everywhere. We've got some really good returners who had really great years last year, but I think we got guys that are younger than them, and they're going to say, "Hey, I don't really care. Like, I want to take your spot." So, and that's just going to make us the most successful team we can be. Is pushing ourselves from within. I think also from an individual standpoint, I think this year I've got, it's kind of my last year, and which is weird, and so it's kind of a make or break deal. I haven't had maybe the most successful career that I've been planning on having, but I think I've got one more year to really prove some stuff to myself, but also to other people. Hard work. How much time he's able to put in. When we're dragging, and we don't want to be here. Late in the fall, we've been practicing for 3 hours or whatever, and we're just tired of being here. Spence is still there though, working hard, pushing us, trying to make us better because he wants us to be better, and he knows he has to work hard to make us better. And so I think just his tenacity as far as coming to work every day, ready to work, is what I think his best characteristic. It's certainly just a maturity thing. I think you come in as a freshman, everybody who ends up here was really good in high school, and I think you come in and then you learn, what I did in high school doesn't really matter anymore. And I think that can be hard for some people, and being away from home can be hard for some people too. And so you got to grow up, and some people don't grow up, and then they're not here anymore. So I think it's becoming a more mature person on and off the field is definitely what's changed the most in me, and I think that's just a product of just growing up playing a sport, and then now it's a job out here, so you got to be mature and you got to handle it like a man, or you're gonna get eaten alive.
Flora, he's got a lot of experience. He's pitched a lot here. He's had a lot of appearances. I think the thing when you get Benny on the right days when he's good, very effective. He's a quality Division I left-hander. His job, his concern in mind needs to be consistent. Need to get more day in and day out. Not too good, one bad, or too bad, one good. And we all know what's in there, but it's time for him just to be consistent in whatever role he ends up being in, and he can really help us. Well, he's got good stuff, and he has a really good breaking ball, and most of those were left-on-left type matchups, and that's the key there. And like I said, Benny's deal is just consistency. He's got quality stuff. His stuff is good enough, and being older now, it's time to run those outings out there day to day, and like I said, he's a guy that could really really solidify us wherever he pitches.